I am going to call this Robbinsville Tourism September the 27th meeting to order. And Dirk, I will say this on the agenda. It's a little bit changed. The down there at the new business, I don't think I got to send this one to you. I moved the car show up because I thought Robert Britton was going to be here and kind of present it to us from the Shriners, and he's not here, so I'll just kind of go ahead and run over what he has spoke to me about. And the billboards, I wanted to talk to you guys about the use of the billboards and everything, so that's not going to be on the one that you've got. And I had one guy call me about some, you know how you had spoke about having boards in front of some of the buildings for the history the last meeting?
Yes.
I had a guy call me about that yesterday evening, so I went ahead and added that to this agenda. So I was just going to kind of throw that in there to you too. By next meeting, he said that he would be here to be able to present some prices and ideas as to what he could do for us. I thought that was a great idea. But I'm going to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
You guys okay with it? Okay.
Yes.
And I'll give you a minute to look over the minutes for the August 30th meeting. Anybody want to make a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Unanimous?
Yeah.
I'm going to send this copy around and let you guys sign it. And then
I'll go by there tomorrow and sign that.
that'll be great. And then I'll let you look at the closed session minutes. See what you think about that. Anybody want to make a motion on approving the closed session minutes?
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. They'd said that we needed to start doing that, so that's as efficient as it needs to be. Does it need to be a little bit more in depth?
That's
what I was thinking.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It lists the action that was taken, essentially.
Yeah. Maybe by next meeting we'll have some public people to come in and speak to us. There's no one here for the public comments, so we're just going to kind of go ahead and move into old business. Trunk or treat still set up to go 4:30 to 7:30 on October the 31st. We have some people already signed up for it. I'm not sure how many, but I think there's at least 10 of them. And some more that just had a word of mouth, but I cannot remember who it was to actually put it down on paper. at first we had talked about stretching it out from the courthouse down to the church mouse. But if it seems to be a little bit bigger than that, are you guys good with actually closing down all the way down to maybe past Hosanna Baptist Church and just having the whole street?
Kind of like the festival does in the summer. Before the I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
If we have if we have that turnout, then that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
I would rather do it from the church mouse up this way, just so we could have that parking lot at the school for everybody to park at. And hopefully it will be that way.
How many have you drawn anything out to show how many it takes to need to do that? I mean, you probably need 40 or 50 participants to need to do that.
I think we'll get that.
Good.
Yeah, I really do. I'm figuring, I would give each one of them space enough for a tent, because most people like to set up under a tent. And that
keep
would
the
be
line moving kind of too. The more little space to walk.
And you don't want them just right on top of each other. That way, that gives the kids chance to walk, like you said, and gives it a little bit of breathing room.
Chance to pull over if you need to.
Or get more candy in the containers before so you can keep it going. Our Christmas extravaganza and Christmas parades, December the 10th. I've got 3 people signed up for that, for the parade, that is, not actually vendors. I think I've only got 1 vendor. But we need to decide a theme name, because that's what everyone is asking about. And me, myself, personally, I still wanted to kind of wrap it around Graham County being 150 years old. But I can't think of a good theme.
So I Googled to see if other people have had this kind of similar to parade theme, and it said I saw two people come up with 2 different versions of it. It's like past, present, and future, like Robbinsville 150, past, present, and future, or like Christmas classics, like a classic take on.
Yeah.
So it could be classic cars or classic movies, or just kind of Robbinsville 150, just like that. It could be old timey classics.
Yeah, the things I could just come up with is like when you do it, it's like either small town Christmas past or hometown Christmas past. You want to get that where somebody will do a float that just has an old potbelly stove sitting on it with some people sitting around it and things like that. But I don't know how we reach back to 150 years ago, but just past is the biggest thing.
Back in time was one of the things that I thought of.
That's cool.
Christmas through the decades was something I thought of. Like one lady had already called and wanted to do that very thing. She wanted to do the Christmas as in the days of old. She wanted to have the coal. She wanted to have the candy cane or the stockings with the oranges in it and stuff like that. But she just said, everybody's wanting to know what's the
Christmas
thing.
through the decades gives you a chance. If you want to do something recent, you can. But if you want to do something in years past,
and you could have a category or so, best. So it's best 50s, best or however best old timey float, best.
We just kind of gotta.
I don't know how to phrase it in a kind of
a catchy phrase. You know how you've got Throwback Thursdays on pictures and stuff, but you kind of think. That's where I've racked my brain and it has stopped.
Because I keep thinking of something to play on like Christmas Past, like something of Christmas, but like I don't know what that is.
Ghost of Christmas Past?
I've thought of Ghost of Christmas Past.
Or like a celebration of Christmas Past or something like that.
I like that.
A celebration of Christmas past. That's
And
pretty cool.
It could be way back, it could be, but I don't know.
Memories of Christmas
Memories of Christmas Past is really good.
That is a good one.
I kind of like that because then you could have, as a little kid, your memories you
What
could
do
have,
you
these
remember?
old-timey memories. You
Yes.
could kind of go, I like that.
Memories of Christmas.
Memories of Christmas past.
I like that.
Okay. I like that.
Yes.
Done good.
Yes, you
did.
I
like
you don't
it,
say
Richard.
much, but when you do, it speaks volume. Memory. I'm going to write this down. What about you, Dirk? You got any ideas too, or does that sound good to you?
I like it. That sounds good.
Memories, that's the key.
Memories
I like
of
that.
Christmas past. Because
That's the catchy part.
one of the ladies called and said, well, we're thinking about doing the Care Bears. That's in the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
uh-huh,
Yes.
Yeah.
But it can kind of be anybody's take on it.
Exactly.
However they
It can
kind of
be.
see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I like that. The Veterans Street sign. It has been ordered. It is going to be a little bit bigger than our normal street signs, and it's actually going to go over the street light down there. DOT is going to put it up. It will be, I think, 12 inches tall and about 24 inches long, just so that they can make it big and bold. And it should be here by November. We want to definitely, as soon as that happens, we want to jump on it. I can't really plan, but I can kind of start gathering people up and seeing what we can get to happen. Any ideas on what you want to happen with that street sign dedication?
The veterans, well, we need somebody, we need veteran presentation here. I mean, maybe somebody from the state or,
I need to get up with
No.
Harold about that.
just wonder who we could get.
So maybe we need to kind of get up with Mike Shanahan and Harold and speak with them.
Mhm.
Do you know either one of those guys?
No.
No. And somebody that Mike can get up with them and just maybe help reach out. I'll reach out to them, and maybe I can kind of get you to help out with that,
Be glad to.
and they can get up with you, and then we kind of work something out.
Absolutely.
Even though we don't have a date set in stone, we still want to be planning for
Yeah.
it. Because I don't want it to be not celebrated.
No,
Yeah.
it's our veterans.
Yep, it's our veterans.
I'm sorry, but
I agree.
It's our veterans.
No need to apologize.
The more of them you can get there to watch it, the better it is.
Yeah.
that's right.
Are you going to do it on Veterans Day?
Well, we're not for sure. We just kind of got to wait and see when the sign gets here. We wanted to do something, but then the Veterans Day celebrations are handled through Graham County. We're not supposed to do that, but we can work together to do it.
We don't want to interfere.
Right, yeah, because I don't really know what they've got planned as far as theirs, but if it can be tied around this street naming, that would be wonderful. Yeah, because it could be a very good thing. We've not done nothing big for our veterans in a while, so I think Veterans Day and the thing would be well fitting together. The policies and procedure changes, that was part of our old business. I'm not sure if you've even had a chance with Ellen.
Yeah, I've gotten the documents filed, but not with schedules. Haven't gotten a chance to sit down with Ellen and kind of go through them and get everything approved. I think the plan is to present a finished product to the board once she kind of signs off on it.
Okay. And she's on vacation or something, I think.
Right. So the hope would be hopefully by the October meeting. I was hoping this meeting schedules just haven't aligned.
Okay. And at our last meeting, Graham Star presented to us their 150th magazine, and we voted to do $250 and do the inside of the back page.
Right.
And I spoke with Deborah Deal since then, and if we amend and we go up to $500, they said that would be more so where we would sponsor and the page is paid for. I just didn't know what you guys would want to do. I've got the pictures and everything sent to her, but just through text. She hasn't really drawn up anything as a draft or whatever, but when she does, I'll send it to every one of yous and see what yous think. I did not get an amendment to amend that, but
I make a motion on that we let Debbie have the authority to change that, and to either from her own opinion, or she can poll us, and that way we don't have to wait to have another meeting to do it.
I'll second that.
Just fine.
Now, I have no issues with the cost at all.
Yeah.
We need to be a pretty big player in that, because that's what we're basing almost everything
yeah.
around is
Yeah.
that 150th celebration.
It's hard to throw 150 years in just a few hours on one day, so if we can kind of throw
It
it
is.
into everything,
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Is that a unanimous? Okay. And then United Community Bank's accounts have all authorized persons on the account to sign the checks. They will be calling each one of us, and we'll have to go down there and sign off on that whenever they get it all drawn up, but it should be just any day now. So, with all that said, that's all of our old business. Now we're going to go into this new business. The 2023 car show. Robert Britton has actually approached me with this, and Billy Clark to help with the Shriners. They're wanting to do a car show to help benefit the Shriners, and they asked if we would help and join in with that. The only thing is with that is that our car show, annual car show, will be moved to September. Is that okay with everybody? Instead of being in May, it'll be
Yeah.
in
I
September.
mean, I'm okay with that.
And he said that their date may change from September, but he's pretty sure that it's going to be like in that second weekend of September.
That'll be our car show.
Yeah. And as soon as he gives me an update on that, and hopefully him and Billy Clark can be at our next meeting and they can kind of give us more of an idea. They're really thinking that it's going to be, you know, big, and they're going to need help with it. And I was glad that we had somebody that was wanting to do it with us. Honestly, it'll be a good thing. The next thing here is the RHS varsity basketball boys have set a Jeep show to raise money for the team, and they were supposed to be here too, but one of them couldn't make it. So they asked me if we would be willing to help sponsor that. They wanted to know if we would be willing to basically buy the trophies and help with some of the advertisement, which I'm thinking that $1,000 would be more than enough to cover it. Because when I done the trophies last year for the car show, it was about $260, $300 for all of those trophies that we got. So I'm going to go with that same company if we do this. And I just figured it would give us a chance to kind of help support our kids. So whatever you think, I'm willing to help work with them.
Well, I'm a big advocate of supporting the kids at school. And if you've ever coached, I did for over 20 years. You get these football, basketball, soccer teams and all of them. People might think they get a ton of money, but they do not. They don't get a whole lot of money to help do anything. And I have no issue with it whatsoever.
It's a $1,000 budget.
So you make a motion for
Yeah.
1,000? Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous? Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to do a little bit with that, but basically, they're going to be doing all the work. Richard, of course, will have to kind of help with the classes. You know, well, you know cars.
Hey, your
You
Jeep will
know-
probably be in it.
Yes.
I mean,
He'll have it
yeah.
in it. And, I mean, you just kind of know, you know what to tell us to do. And I want to have a meeting with you and the boys so that you can kind of tell them where they need to go and all this, because we don't have to have a DJ. They're going to do all of that. They're going to use the food truck with the school. They're going to supply all of that. And they're going to have a cornhole tournament too. So they've got all that
That's
there
pretty
at
cool.
the school. And they've got 4 games at the Sequoia Golf Course already lined up for them as chances to take. And
shoot,
then
you got
night
around for
stay
4?
at Harris Casino. Yeah, you'll be taking chances on
Heck
that,
yeah, I
won't
will.
you? And then the local businesses are giving them a lot of things to take chances on. So I think it'll be a good money raiser for the basketball team. I really
Rounded
do.
off, that's $400.
Yeah.
$100 a piece.
It's
Yeah.
it's over
Group of 4,
$1,200.
yeah.
So that was a good thing that they done for them. This is something that I wanted to run by you. I know Brady had spoke of this, that we were wanting to kind of talk about having a whole year's of events kind of laid out instead of it just kind of sneaking up on us. A 911 ceremony for 2023. I don't know if anybody has ever done anything for 9/11. And I just thought it might be something that we might want to think about, and then by our next meeting we can kind of have a idea of how we feel about doing something for 9/11. I've had some ladies approach me about doing a dog show. Maybe they kind of spoke about their dogs and their clothing, having a. It's just I really don't know how to. They want to model their dogs.
Prettiest pet, yeah.
Yeah, that was their ideal. So that's something else for us to
Dog
think
beauty
about.
pageant.
A dog beauty pageant, yeah.
That's what it is. Don't get between somebody and their dog.
No, I know. They're
That's it.
very, very,
Absolutely. Don't blame them. Most of them, it's their children.
yeah. A lot of the older ladies, it is.
And why not?
Uh-huh. So let's think about it, and maybe I can get one of them to maybe come and present a little bit more to us before our next meeting. And then I had a gentleman approach me about a fishing tournament, and if we could maybe work with Bo Collins' son and see if he could head it off and get something like that going. So
Who did that has done that in the past? Taco and his Snowbird did a little fishing.
I don't know. Now I know Fontana's got a huge one going on.
He does.
They have one down here about every Monday.
They do.
I don't know who puts it on.
There's a fishing tournament every weekend.
Is there really? Well, pretty much. That's But anyway, they approached me about it, so I told them that
I guess you'd have to have a bigger payday and stuff to attract more. You could, because I know what I just lost his name, Bo's son.
I know. I cannot think of it neither.
Like he competes, I think, at pretty large events.
And I think Fontana's competition's the first, and it's $5,000 this year. So you would have to have big amounts like that to get big people to come.
Yeah, that would draw some people in, though.
Okay.
The fishing tournaments in Florida down on the Kissimmee and Lake Okeechobee, the prizes are hundreds of thousands down there. They're all fishing's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a big deal. Okay. Next, I had someone to approach me about kind of like the Route 66 flea market type thing, yard sale thing, but he wasn't really wanting it to be like yard sales. He wanted it to be people that were wanting to get rid of their antiques, maybe old cars, parts, furniture, stuff like that. He wanted to maybe think of it as like a 129 flea market, or maybe even stretch into Andrews and have like a stretch where everyone, if they wanted to bring their stuff out, they could. So that's something we can kind of be
Just
thinking.
kind of one day or one week.
One weekend thing, yeah.
Because there's something like that. I know in Tennessee it's the world's longest.
That's real.
Well, I think it's somewhere in Tennessee up into Kentucky or something.
It goes for like 3 or 4 states.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
was having to mow down there that one day. Couldn't find no motels, and I mean it's just solid both sides of the road.
Mhm.
It's called
It's
the
covered
world's
up.
longest.
Yeah.
World's longest yard sale. I think
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
it's listed.
And that's what he got his idea from.
Whether they still do it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, they still do it, and it's big.
Yeah, we got
You know.
stuck in that
It's
thing.
the world's longest.
Yeah. You can find a lot of neat stuff, but that was something else that they wanted us to be looking at for the year of 2023. Now, I think that's all of the new stuff, except for the history boards. Dirk kind of brought this up in our last meeting, just about how that we might be able to look into getting some history boards in front of some of our buildings with this 150th thing too, and plus just ongoing.
Yeah.
And of course his building is one of the buildings that's well known for a lot of stuff. And I thought it was an excellent idea. I checked in and tried to get several people to come and speak of it, but they kept asking me what kind of boards we wanted. And I didn't have a clue of what to, I said, well, what do they typically use? Some of them use like a metal board and have it sitting on a, I can't think.
Like an easel.
Like an easel, and it has to be well protected, and it has to be looked over and gone over, and sometimes you have to spray the shellac and stuff back over it again just to keep it fresh, because if you don't upkeep them at least every 2 years, they lose the wording starts to disappear. So there's lots of different prices to look at, but if we want to make it good, we got to go a little bit, higher than just the cloth stuff that's, that the typical person uses.
And see where we went from there.
Okay. So you want to kind of just identify the buildings as what they used to be?
Well, there was a list at the 150th thing of buildings that one reason or another made it in as historical. Those probably are a good place to start. And then on this board or this, whatever we call this thing, there could be just either pictures or words, just however, to just a small narrative about that structure.
Right.
And that may be something that's worth talking to the Historical Association about too, because they just may want to get involved
Right.
in that project as a whole. They may have a lot of those pictures in their files. They may have.
Yeah, they'll
Memory
definitely.
boards.
Yeah.
Huh?
Call them memory boards.
Yeah, memory boards. They'll definitely have the pictures, and they were just asking me how in depth we wanted these history boards to be, and
You want somebody to be able to read it and look at it in just a few minutes, I think.
right, yeah, not be too long, but at least give them a little bit of history of each one of the
Kind of like
buildings.
these, I think there's a couple outside here. It's very kind of snapshot point with some pictures.
Yeah. So maybe by next meeting they'll come in and give us a little bit of interesting facts about their prices and stuff with that. Next, this is one thing that I wanted to bring before you. The different billboards that's around the town. Down below Vicky Team's law office, in that area where Jacob's got his sign, that's got some old businesses that's not been in business for a long time. And there's different ones that are around that I would like to speak to the landowners and see if they would allow us to use those, maybe even just freshen them up with some paint, and maybe even put some different things on there. Like one of them be able to use it for some of our events, like whenever we put up our banners, be able to use it for it. But I think honestly, if we could just get them painted and make them presentable, it would help the looks of the town itself. So I know that the billboards are the landowners' property, so we have to approach them. I can't really approach the gentleman down here until election's over, because Jacob's got that taken over right now. But I really would like for us to look into that and use them for a way to promote Robbinsville.
Yes.
So hopefully within...
Be good to make a list of those and where they're located, just mark them on a map.
Right. And even if they're not in the city limits, I think it would be good if we could just use them and come up with some kind of ideas with them.
Huddle house.
Yes, the Huddle House ones. Get rid of the Huddle House ones. There's several of those around. I want to know what you think about the flower pots whenever all the flowers are gone. Would you like for me to look into getting garden flags? I kind of took a screenshot of what Amazon has, and we can do it rather cheap, but we just have to hope that nobody comes through and grabs the garden flags. That's kind of for, the fall. And then this is kind of like, we could even get some for just the 4th of July, or even Veterans Day coming up. That's a day, in the months, I guess, where we don't have flowers. Yes. Something to brighten up. That would be something that would kind of keep the streets with an appeal. So that's something to think about. If you want to do that, I can go ahead and try to get started ordering some of those, and then just kind of set a price range. And I've also wanted to do Christmas wreaths on these black poles where we've got our hanging baskets. We're fixing to take the hanging baskets down, but I wanted to do Christmas wreaths for the Christmas time. I think it would be pretty with the light on the top, and the wreath. That's why I've got these books here. I wanted just to kind of just look through them and get yours as ideas and get yours as thoughts. Let's see here. I'm throwing a lot about the holidays out here, but this is just it. I want to see if it's okay if we purchase one of the lighted murals that goes up. You know how we have the lighted Santa Claus kind of kapooied out on us. His lights went out. But how they've got the one at the sheriff's department, and then the different areas where we put those up. I'm wondering if we can purchase one through the RTA this year. And if you want to look through these books, we'll kind of set a price of what we can get one at and get started on getting it ordered. Because I think the prettier we have the town fixed up, I think it attracts more of the people to the parades and to downtown, and even to our Christmas extravaganza.
You want just a motion to give you money to do flags, wreaths, and the lighted, you're talking about like the lighted, I think it came from that company called Christmas Done Bright. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, we've put...
How much of a budget would you like for that?
I don't have a clue, because I've not really...
Just give me every other word.
I don't really have a price to throw at y'all.
Well, you look at a couple of those things.
I don't really want the
They're $3,000-$4,000.
They're pretty high.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't, you know,
It's like one of these 28-foot tree, $20,000.
but even the,
But that's a big one.
Okay.
Stuff looks good though.
see, I liked these. And a lot of them, Dirk, don't have a price on them, so that was why I couldn't really give you guys a price too. It was just that I liked the looks of them. And I liked these. I liked
Mhm.
the
The
flags.
banners, yeah.
Yes. To put on the poles.
Yes.
I really did like those, especially during the daytime. Even though it's not something lighted,
Right.
it still makes the town look good during the day.
It does.
I was just thinking, it's a while until we meet again, and we may be getting too late to even try to order stuff then, so
We
I was
really,
kind of thinking about just turning you loose to hop in with a budget, and then you can run it by us as you pick stuff out.
Okay.
I agree with that. Because if you wait till we meet again end of October,
We may not get
we
them.
may not get it here.
So what number sounds good to me?
So we're talking about wreaths for the poles and
And maybe just some of these
and
instead
some
of
of
this lighted
those.
stuff.
Yeah, we may want to research the
maybe.
lighted stuff a little bit, just
yeah,
to
maybe
see
just
if we can
yeah.
find a better deal on something somewhere, or
Right.
budget for something bigger for next year.
Right. Okay.
We're gonna go with a big.
Yeah, if I had my options, I would prefer to
Do
get
some
some of
different ones
these.
of these, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you
And
could get
then-
more.
Yes. And then the reefs for the black poles.
How many black poles?
I think there's 3 to 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I will do the best I can with like $2,000.
Yes, I was even thinking a little more than that, probably just,
I'll make a motion, we approve $5,000, and if she doesn't use it, she doesn't use it.
That sounds good.
yeah,
Sounds good.
second. It's a great motion. That way you don't have to, you can get something that will be taken down and stored and used for several years.
Yeah.
And get maximum use out of it this year
Get
too.
good
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Okay.
The quicker we can get it here, the
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I want our little town to look pretty. Does anyone have anything for closed session? Then it is 5:37. I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn.
second.
Right.